Hey everybody, in today's video I want to look over some Nano Dimension news. It is rallying a bit today, or it was rallying a bit today, after they announced a share purchase program. So let's get into this news and also some other things revolving around Nano Dimension, and of course we're going to check out the chart at the end. But first, the news. And I'll leave it down below for you guys, but there's really not a whole lot here, it's just a couple paragraphs. But essentially, Nano Dimension initiated a $227.5 million share repurchase plan. And this is definitely seen as some good news. But essentially, the company can invest up to $227 million basically to repurchase its ADS shares. Remember, this is an Israeli company. It's important to remember that these are ADSs, meaning American Depository Shares. Now, the repurchase plan authorizes Nano Dimension to repurchase their shares from time to time in open market transactions or privately, and it is subject to Israeli court approval, which I don't see why they wouldn't approve this, because it shouldn't affect any ongoing obligations or commitments. So it does look like they will be purchasing some shares. They might not purchase all 227 million worth, but this is definitely positive news. When you see a company buying their own shares, typically it either means they know something or even they just want the market to simply react positively to it to bring the price up. And this comes at a very interesting time, and I'll show you why. Just a few days ago, Nano Dimension announced expiration of their offer for ordinary shares of Stratasys. So Stratasys basically denied. They didn't want Nano Dimension to acquire more of their company. And it's kind of interesting because Nano Dimension kept offering higher and higher prices for their shares, and Stratasys simply kept saying no. It seems like this is finally coming to an end. This offer expired, and it did kind of bring a bit of a sell-off for Nano Dimension. So I'm kind of curious if this news they dropped about repurchasing shares was due to this Stratasys offer expiring. But let me know what you guys think down below. Is it just a coincidence? Is it just interesting timing? Or are they playing a little bit of chess here? But you can see that right in the beginning of August, that offer was expired for Stratasys shares. It caused a bit of a sell-off from the low threes to the high twos. And then this news of share purchasing came from Nano Dimension, and it caused a bit of a rally, a 7% update today. And I do have an interesting trend that I've been watching, and maybe the company's been watching too. I do think that if Nano Dimension continued selling off, there would have been even more of an accelerated sell-off because of the break of this trend. You can see the general direction that these shares were trading at, and by announcing this share purchase program, it causes another support on this ascending channel. And another thing you'll notice here is they announced this purchase program right when it was trading on the 50 MA. If it was to break the 50 MA, it would have came down and tested the 200 MA, and if we would have traded like that long enough, we would have seen another cross or a death cross. We did see our golden cross in the middle of July here, and part of me is thinking that maybe the company wanted this trend to continue, wanted this uptrend to continue. So at least Nano Dimension looks more bullish on the chart, so it can hopefully continue rallying for them. Which does sound a little counterintuitive if you're talking about a company that's planning on purchasing shares, because wouldn't they want to purchase these shares at a lower price than at a higher price? But by them doing this, when they did, it caused a bounce on the 50 MA and caused this uptrend to likely continue. I do think if this wasn't mentioned, we would have came down and tested the 200 and possibly failed it and caused a death cross, which wouldn't be good for Nano Dimension, which would make the chart look bearish. But because they mentioned this when they did, this general uptrend on this ascending channel may likely continue while utilizing the 50 MA as support, instead of likely failing the 50 MA if they didn't bother mentioning this share purchase program. And maybe I'm simply reading the tea leaves here, maybe I'm overthinking it a bit, but let me know what you guys think. Do you think Nano Dimension, the company, is watching their share price and wanting the uptrend to continue? And one thing to think about is if you are repurchasing shares, while you do want to get them cheap, this is a risky smaller cap stock. You don't want your stock to just continually suffer and create new lows potentially and continue to sell off in this risky market where the general consensus is the Fed's still aggressive, the Fed still may raise rates, while I think we're going to see rate cuts in the near future, and the Fed has its ebbs and flows. And I'll show you in a future video just how quickly rates can change from going sky high to dropping extremely low based on the fluctuations of the macroeconomy. I do suspect we will be seeing a lot of rate cuts in the year 2024 and maybe at the tail end of 2023. And that should theoretically help a lot of these small caps, but we are not at that point yet. And sorry if I'm a bit all over the place, I just got done with a 5-hour drive, but I have something else I want to bring up here, and that's earnings coming up. Now this is going to be at the end of August, and what I personally want to see for earnings is a beat of over 15 million in revenue so that we can continue seeing quarterly increases. This company does have a tendency to see quarterly increases pretty common, although we have had some dips along the way, but overall we do still see year over year revenue increases. And I want to zoom back a bit and just show you how much progress these guys have made from 2021. You'll see back when they reported here in August of 2021, they pulled in less than $1 million. After that, 1.3 million. And the last quarter, they pulled in nearly 15 million. So they do have some very nice revenue growth over the long term, even if occasionally there is a quarter where they see a dip in revenue. But that is one thing I'm watching for on this coming earnings, is a quarter-over-quarter revenue increase, which would be a great sign for Nano Dimension. And speaking of earnings, don't forget CleanSpark's earnings is coming out just a few days from this upload, and I will be covering their numbers and what's going to be going down there, so stay tuned for that. But let me know what you guys think about Nano Dimension. Are you glad that they're planning to repurchase some shares? Do you think they're employing some sort of strategy based on the fact that the Stratasys offer was expired and we would have likely seen a continued sell-off? Did they just do this to bump the share price? Because remember, they don't have to purchase all of these shares. The simple fact alone that this news came out typically can cause some hype and cause a rally. But I'm curious where you guys are at there. Is it just a coincidence? And also, do you think the company would have just been better off by utilizing this money rather than purchasing shares, but to expand their business operations, to expand their R&D? Because there is certainly risk to buying your own shares, especially being a risky small cap company that doesn't make a profit yet. But maybe they know something that we don't know yet. And of course, we will get some more clarity on earnings coming up. But I'll leave it off there. Thanks as always, guys, for watching, and I'll see you later.